next step in the process is to transfer marks from the tail board to the pin board, and do that with a marking knife so that my marks are exact. A couple things to notice are that when I line up the tail board with the pin board, I actually overlap my baseline from the tail board over the pin board. The reason for doing this is that when the tails come forward on this layout, the tail markings will be shrunk slightly from reality. So when these go to fit up, they'll fit up nice and tight. It's just a small amount, not enough to cause us any aggravations. Another thing to note is that now half of my tail on the miter is missing, so you have nothing to reference your knife against. So after I make my marks, I'm just double checking it with this sliding square to ensure that the line actually lines up with that of the tail. Otherwise, I simply go in with my knife, go right in hard into the corner, and then make a knife mark on the tails. I check on the pins. I tend to leave my knife mostly up against the tail. Obviously at the bottom you definitely want it to be up against the tail, but as you're sliding, if it's at an angle, at a slight angle, it will be just fine. If I notice anything on the tail board that's causing the knife to hang up at all, I investigate a little further. Sometimes there's something still hanging out in the corners, and so you can clear those out with the knife as you go along. Now, if you'll recall, I mentioned cutting my dovetails and having the error in angle towards the outside. The reason for that is that when I mark out these pins, if the dovetail tapers out like this, the pin will be slightly larger, so that as it comes through, it will compress slightly and compress the tail slightly, and you get a nice tight fit on the outside. You can go overboard on making things so that they compress. I generally try to avoid that. There's a fine line between having something compressed together and having something split when it goes together. And so that's why I tend to do these things just very slightly. Give myself an advantage without giving myself a disadvantage or something to work against. Now that these are marked out, take apart our assembly here. you see that I have all my markings. Now the next step is to transfer those to the baseline. And before we do that, we have to apply the baseline. My marking gauge is set. Just want to verify that before I apply the marks. Once again, on the outside, there's no need to make an aggressive mark. You just make a light mark. On the inside, you can certainly make a deeper mark. I have my corner marked to make sure that I'm lining up my boards exactly as they should be, and you can see here that they are lining up nicely. You can see the green runs through. Next step in marking these is to transfer the marks from the end green onto the long green. The reason why I put a baseline there first is so that I can see where to stop. The last step in marking out is to take a nice little notch out of the corner of these tails, so that when you saw, the saw falls on the side of the line as opposed to sawing on the line. The reason for that is that if it saws on the side of the line, the fit will be nice and tight. If it saws on the line, it's actually going to be removing material. It should still be there from the pin, and the fit up will be loose. I'm going to bring the camera in for a close-up momentarily. Alright, we are marked out and ready to start stalling. I sewed these last two pins on the ends here. They don't get sewn all the way through to the bottom. They're only sewn on a 45. So sewing on the inside, of course. So they wind up like this. Now we can chop out down to the baseline. You'll see I'm taking a look at which chisel I plan to use here. I don't want to knock into the side of the dovetails. I'm starting on the inside and working my way out. Also starting away from the baseline. And my second chop will be on the baseline. preparing the base lines a little bit, make sure I don't have any lingering material higher than the baseline in the center of the dovetails here. And there we have it. Mitered dovetails.